Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All of these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. Really great place to be, in my opinion. You can find my videos. My username is Shook. I post updates with all of the news that comes out. People talk strategy here. You can ask me questions. I'll reply to you if you have questions about the slate, pivots, stuff like that. So definitely check it out. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can do so privately on Reddit, or you can do so on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. So let's take a look at my lineup from tonight. And mistakes were definitely made. Um, Definitely some mistakes made in my lineup tonight. So I thought Sumner was. Here's the thing. Let's take a look at Sumner's ownership in my contest. Um, Sumner was 70% owned. Um, that is not a good play at that ownership, in my opinion. Um, I know people disagree with that. You could have different opinions. That's completely fine. But 70% ownership on Edmund Sumner, when first off they recalled 3 people from the G League. We had no idea what the rotation was going to be. You have players traded. Once again, uncertainty of the rotation. There are games where he could have only played like, I don't know, 25-ish minutes. But he's also not going to shoot 2 of 3 from 3, 9 to 17 from the field. So I thought there were ways to get away from this chalk. Also, I faded Cam Thomas once again. Same reason being was uncertainty with the rotation. I knew he was going to get a ton of ownership. The minutes, I didn't know if he was going to play huge minutes or 20 minutes. I told everyone in Discord, I was like, oh, by the way, Discord link will be down below. I told everyone I would not be shocked if he plays 40 minutes. I wouldn't be shocked if he only plays 20. But if he's going to play like these big minutes, you're going to want him in your lineup. He's going to absolutely smash. Um, Also, it was the lowest total game on the slate. Really tough spot against the Clippers. So I thought it was an okay spot to not go there with all of the other infinite value on the slate. We had so much good value on the slate. We had Olynyk, we had Branham, we had just take a look at my lineup. I feel like there was some good value in there. We had Hardy, we had what else was there? But you get the point. There was a lot of good value. It was the lowest total on the slate. Um, Uncertainty. They recalled 3 people from the G League, so that's chalk that I felt like I was okay fading. Obviously, it backfired completely, which that's completely okay. I lost my entry for the day. It's not going to hurt me too much. I live with it. I learn from it. Always a day tomorrow. Always, and the Nets are on the slate today, so always a chance to play them the next day if something doesn't work out. Now we have certainty with the rotation and certainty that they want to play these guys big minutes. So, but my lineup tonight was De'Aaron Fox, Malachi Branham. Also, Malachi Branham was a direct pivot off Edmund Sumner. Um, that's why I went to Branham, because he was going to be unowned compared to 70% Edmund Sumner. I thought it was a pretty sharp play in my opinion, because he was going to be blowout proof. It was a better spot, higher game total, etc. So didn't work out. He still did well, but didn't work out. Went to Josh Richardson, went to Kelly Olynyk, went to Walker Kessler, went to Jaden Hardy, Klay Thompson, SGA. So I had Giannis core, I had Jordan Poole core. I obviously couldn't keep them in my lineup because I obviously didn't have Cam Thomas, and I had De'Aaron Fox not play the entire fourth quarter, who he was absolutely smashing, and just doesn't play the fourth because it's a freaking blowout. So I had to get off Giannis. I had to get off Poole. I went to Klay Thompson. I went to SGA, and SGA just had the worst game I think I've ever seen him play, to be honest. So Giannis, I believe, was a bust. Yeah, only 50. Giannis was a bust, but Poole was a smash. Jaden Hardy was a smash, and Kelly Olynyk was just fine. Reached like 6x. So 3 out of 4 on the court today, and I don't know. I don't think there's any tilting for me to do, even though I was tilting the face of the earth when Cam Thomas just couldn't miss and Edmund Sumner couldn't miss. But yeah, blowout for Fox, blowout for Richardson. Walker Kessler just doesn't close the game. What is that? There's 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. He's absolutely breaking the slate. I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance. Because Klay Thompson's breaking the slate too. Klay had 30 at half. And I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance. And he just gets pulled with like 5 minutes to go. And he's one short of a double-double. So I was like, oh, Giannis was busting at that point too. So I was like, okay, maybe I have a chance. But nope. Doesn't close. Gets pulled with 5 minutes to go. One short of the double-double. Just unfortunate. But yeah, not getting to those Nets guys definitely hurt. But what are you going to do about it? By the way, I thought Cam Thomas was a fine play. I really did. I thought Sumner was overowned, but I was completely okay with Cam Thomas. Thought it was a little bit overowned for the situation. Lowest total on the slate, one of the lowest totals. I forget if it was lowest total. Uncertainty with the rotation, the 3 recall guys. But I obviously made a mistake not going to the Nets guys. So if that happens, it's DFS. You're going to make some mistakes from here on out. But yeah, let's go over the 7-game slate for tomorrow. Once again, if Discord is something you're interested in, I'll have a link to that down below where I have in-depth content. I make player pools for cash and GPPs. I have cores of 4, stuff like that, and a great community that you can talk to. So, let's go over this 7-game slate. So we have the Knicks at Orlando. So we have RJ Barrett. What was that? If you played RJ Barrett last slate, I feel really bad for you. I do. I thought it was a pretty good play, and he got like 0 ownership, and he just gets scratched. So RJ Barrett's questionable. I have no idea if he plays. If he's in, I don't love much here. It's an okay spot going up against Orlando, like Randall, Brunson. RJ, they're just there for me. I think RJ would be the easiest to get to, but once again, are you going to play him and he's going to get scratched 20 minutes after lock? So just be careful there. Quickly, we'll go back to the bench. He would be overpriced. Quentin Grimes, I think, is overpriced. Sims will start, but Hartenstein will play more. If we're going to continue to get these decent minutes from Isaiah Hartenstein, I think he's a solid value play, good point per minute guy, good rebounder. Not the best matchup, but would be too cheap if we still get 25 plus minutes from him. So New York is not a fun team for me. Like Randall, Brunson, they're just fine plays. Think they're priced about right. So yeah. If RJ's out, I definitely do have interest in some more stuff. Like I think Randall, I think Brunson both get boosts. Minutes would be a lot more secure as well for the both of them. Although I will say, Randall's minutes have been kind of up and down of late. I think he got into some foul trouble here, but kind of concerning. He only played 34 minutes here. I think he got pulled with like a minute to go though, but they're both going to play huge minutes as long as this game stays close. So if RJ is out, I like the ceiling on Randall. I like the ceiling on Brunson. Still not priorities for me. Quickly he'll start, probably play huge minutes. Playable, but has been really bad sharing usage with Brunson and Randall. So just a tournament only play, and then I don't think I'd be going to anyone else on the Knicks. So it's a really tough spot here for Orlando as well. I think Banchero is back to his normal price tag at 7.5K. So nothing more than a contrarian play to me, even though he's been much better the past 2 out of 4 games. But now that he's back to 7,500, I think that is definitely priced appropriately for him. Franz, 6.4K, just neutral for me. Doesn't really have a ceiling in my opinion. He needs to be like 5.8K to 6K in my opinion. So not going to go to Franz. Wendell Carter Jr., probably my favorite play on the Orlando Magic. She'll play 30, 33 minutes. Good point per minute guy. Good rebounder. Good defender. Good defensive stats. Much better spot without Mitchell Robinson. So don't hate Wendell Carter Jr. Definitely my favorite play on Orlando. The guards, it's just really hard to. You're also getting more minutes from Jalen Suggs. He got ejected this game, only played 16 minutes, but he's been very productive in the minutes he's getting. And if we're going to continue to get like 22 to 25 minutes from Jalen Suggs, I definitely have interest in him for GPPs at this price tag. He would be just too cheap if we're going to continue to get mid-20s minutes for him. So I like Suggs for GPPs. Cole, his minutes are on a downtrend with the emergence of Suggs. So yeah, for me, 2 favorite plays on Orlando going to be Wendell Carter Jr. and Jalen Suggs. So let's go over Atlanta. So this Trae Young price has me kind of tempting. I think he's too cheap. not the best matchup against the Pelicans, but 9.4K for Trae Young. God's gonna stuff the stat sheet, probably get you a close to a double double as well. Clear number one on this team as well. Obviously, he's an elite scorer. I think he's too cheap, so I like Trae Young quite a bit for GPPs. DeJounte Murray, I'd much rather just go to Trae Young with him only being $200. Down in price, Capella, Okongwu, they're going to split the center minutes. Don't really have a lean there. Like Okongwu probably plays 20 minutes. Capella probably plays 28. Fine options, don't love it. Bog, overpriced. John Collins, minutes, probably plays around 30. Been taking a back seat of late as well. So, not too much interest in Atlanta outside of Trae Young. I think Trae Young looks like a pretty good play to me tomorrow. So, we have Ingram and we have Jonas Valanciunas probable for this game. So, CJ, you guys know what he's going to do, right? Every time he has the team to himself, he busts. But he obviously didn't play much. And then when everyone's back, he absolutely smashes. So if you want to go for the narrative of CJ smashing with everyone back, albeit do so, but with Ingram back, I think he's appropriately priced. I really like Ingram here. He's going to play mid-30s minutes. 7.1K is an absolute joke for him. So I think Ingram looks like one of the better plays on the slate. His usage, he's the highest usage rate on this team with no Zion Williamson. He's probably going to shoot the ball 25 plus times. He's a solid rebounder. He can also stuff the stat sheet. I don't know what's not to like about Brandon Ingram tomorrow. I think he looks phenomenal. I absolutely love Brandon Ingram tomorrow. Jonas Valanciunas at 5.7K. He was actually on pace to play more minutes here. You guys know the deal with him. If he's going to get those minutes at this price tag, he's too cheap. But also in the past, they've shown to go to Larry Nance over him and close with Larry Nance, and he only plays like 19, 20 minutes, and then at this price tag, you're going to get killed. So Jonas Valanciunas is always a good GPP play because nobody plays him, and the minutes are in question. And when he gets those minutes, he's going to break the slate, like he did here. So always like Jonas for GPPs. With Ingram and Jonas back, I'm off the wings. Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall. They're overpriced. Herb Jones will still get decent minutes, but he's more out there for his defense, and his usage rate goes way down with Brandon Ingram back, so I think he's overpriced. Larry Nance is now priced for a ceiling, in my opinion. Won't play a ton of minutes, so if he was still like 4.1K, I would definitely have interest, but 5.1K definitely seems a little bit pricey for Larry Nance. So Alvarado's minutes are on a downtrend, so hard to go there. So the Pelicans pretty unappealing outside of Ingram and Jonas Valanciunas. Let's move over to Phoenix. So we have Booker back. I believe he will be on a limit, so that just takes like Phoenix pretty much out of play for me. I think Ayton's still a fine play just because Brooklyn has been getting killed against centers. So I think Ayton's an okay GPP play. I assume Booker will be on a limit, so it's really hard to go there. Chris Paul's overpriced with Booker back. Bridges overpriced with Booker back. Cam Johnson, same thing. And then you can't play Saban Lee, you can't play Damian Lee, you can't play Saric. So, yeah, just Ayton for me on Phoenix. And now we get to Brooklyn. So, excuse me. Here's the thing. We have Ben Simmons back. I don't know what they're going to do with the starting lineup. They could start Ben at the point. They could start Cam at the 2. They could start Ben at the point. They could start Sumner at the 2. I don't know if they would want to do that. My guess is they start Ben and then Cam Thomas starts alongside him. Or they could go crazy and go to like a Sumner, Cam Thomas, a bigger lineup with like him playing the 4, Claxton playing the 5, and then Royce O'Neal, I don't know, the 3? I have no idea. But they can do a number of things with the starting lineup. So we're going to have to wait and see for a starting lineup here. But if Ben plays and he's not on a limit at 6.7K, I like him quite a bit. He's going to have to do everything for this team. They're going to have to ask him to score. They're going to have to ask him to shoot the ball, even though he won't. But a guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet, now he is Cam Thomas, who can't miss. So those peripheral stats better be up. Good rebounder, good defender. Not the best matchup, but would like Ben Simmons quite a bit if he's not on a limit, especially if he starts at the point. Claxton, going to play all the minutes he can handle. I don't really like the matchup against Ayton, but he's playable just for that reason. He's been extremely consistent of late as well. Don't hate it if you want to go there. And then we're going to have to monitor starting lineup. So I think Cam Thomas has definitely played himself into pretty big minutes here, even if he comes off the bench or even if he starts. If he starts, great. Like him a lot. He's going to be one of the most popular plays on the slate. If he comes off the bench, I still think he's going to play a ton of minutes with how he's been playing of late. Still like him quite a bit. Sumner, if he comes off the bench, I would be more in question of. I still think he'd be solid and definitely in play. Um, if he starts, once again, like him quite a bit. But they're going to be two of the most popular plays on the slate tomorrow, and I think both look pretty good. But with Ben Simmons back, that does definitely change the rotation a little bit. Actually, a lot. So we'll wait and see with the starting lineup, but I'll wait and see what their projections are, stuff like that. But right now, as it stands, they both look like very good plays. But monitor starting lineup, and we'll go from there. Joe Harris, his minutes all over the place, so hard for me to kind of go there, especially with Ben Simmons coming back. Patty Mills, same thing. Played 30 minutes here, only 12 here, so can't go there. They brought up Drew Smith, David Duke from the G League. They just barely played, so don't go to any of these guys. And yeah, just watch the Ben Simmons limit news. Watch who's in the starting lineup. But still, my main interest here is Ben Simmons and the two guards for Brooklyn, who I think both look good. Also, you can't expect this production from Cam Thomas. This is just absolutely insane. He's going to come back down to earth eventually. Eventually. And when I buy in tomorrow, it's probably going to be that game where he shoots like 1 of 15 and only goes for like 10 fantasy points because he's not going to do those peripheral stats. He's not. That's just not what Cam Thomas is. He's just a guy that's going to chuck the ball a ton. Very athletic, though. Can score crazily good. So, yeah, that'll do it for Brooklyn. Let's move over to Chicago. You guys know what I'm going to say here. Vooch, DeRozan, Levine, they're all in play for GPPs. This team's just extremely boring. Given the matchup, I assume Brooks will be on DeRozan. So maybe I lean Levine. If you're going to go to one, not entirely sure. I would assume Brooks is on DeRozan. Someone, if you're a Memphis fan and they have played Chicago, definitely let me know. Vooch, like I said, they're all in play. No standouts. Patrick Williams is overpriced. Caruso, I believe, will be out. Actually, we don't know yet. If he's out, then you can go to like guys like Ayo Dosunmu, who's been playing around 30 minutes. He's a fine value. Kobe White got extended tonight from the blowout. Not going to play 33 minutes again, but he's the more productive player over Ayo, but he'll play a lot less. But in play if Caruso's out. Andre Drummond had a huge game tonight. I probably wouldn't chase that. Also, definitely does have a chance of DMP, so I wouldn't chase Andre Drummond. So yeah, Chicago, pretty boring team to me. Memphis, there's just not much here either. Like Jaws an okay GPP play, but with Bane back, he loses usage. Bane, I think, is priced about right or a little bit overpriced. Jaren, minutes have been up. If he can just stay out of foul trouble, always has a ceiling, so I have some interest for GPPs. Brooks, you couldn't pay me to play that guy. I like whoever starts at the 5, so my guess is Xavier Tillman continues to start at the 5. 28, 27, 32 minutes the last 3 games. Solid point per minute guy as well. So if he continues to start, I think he's a pretty good value play. If they go with Brandon Clark at the 5, I think he is solid as well. Can't go to Conchar or Aldama with Brooks and everyone back, so yeah, just the main guys and whoever starts at the 5 I think are playable. So we have Gobert and Kyle Anderson questionable for Minnesota. I think Ant's overpriced. I don't like the matchup against Denver as well, so I'll gladly fade, but he does have a ceiling. Not in love with Ant here. I think D'Lo is the much better play over Ant, but once again, I believe they have said that they're willing to bench D'Lo when he's not shooting well, which just doesn't make sense, but as long as this game stays close, they're going to run an extremely tight rotation of about probably close to 40 minutes. So I prefer D'Lo to Ant. Gobert, if he plays, I like him as long as he can stay out of foul trouble against Jokic. But keep an eye on if he's going to be playing or not. Slow-mo, no. Nas, no. McDaniels, no. Prince, no. So, yeah. And then if Gobert and Anderson are out, then you guys know what to do. You play Nas Reed. He would look like one of the best plays on the slate. And then Matt Ryan starts second half. If they start him, I probably wouldn't play him. It would mainly just boost Torian Prince, who I think would be a good value at 3.5K if Kyle Anderson is out. Let's go on to Denver. So we have Jokic probable, we have Murray probable, we have Gordon probable, we have KCP probable, we have Zeke Naji probable or questionable. So everyone's going to be back for this game. Love Jokic here. Love him. I don't care if Gobert's in or out. Still too cheap. I think he should be priced in that like Luka price tier, in my opinion. So I think he's still like about $1,000 too cheap. So I think Jokic looks great. I think Jamal Murray still looks like a pretty good play, even at 8.2K. They're doing like a Minnesota rotation where they're just running Jamal Murray into the ground, playing like 40 minutes game. He's their clear ball handler outside of Jokic. Can stuff the stat sheet. Gonna shoot the ball a bunch. Also, Jokic has like just been not shooting a ton. So all that shooting's going to Jamal Murray. So I like Jokic a lot. I like Jamal Murray quite a bit. Gordon, I think is overpriced. MPJ, I think is overpriced. Bruce Brown's overpriced. KCP's overpriced. So really for Denver, it's just Jokic and Murray for me. Let's move on to OKC. So it's a phenomenal spot for OKC. Like the price tag on SGA is just up though. Like most people are just not gonna want to pay 10.8K for SGA. Just seems like a hefty price to pay for SGA, but he does have a ceiling. It's a phenomenal spot up against the Lakers, who are just getting killed by point guards. So I wouldn't hate you if you wanted to go there, but he's just a contrarian play for me, which is just sad to say at that price tag. Giddey, I think, is easier to get to at this price tag. Once again, he's a guard. Lakers get killed by guards, so I might prefer Giddey to SGA solely given the price. Jalen, no. Trying to figure out the rest of this team is just really hard. Good luck trying to figure it out. They're all just darts. Like, if Wiggins starts, go for it. Just a dart. Whoever starts at the 5, just a dart. So, yeah. Hard to go to anyone else there. On the Lakers, so it's a phenomenal spot. With LeBron questionable, AD probable. I expect LeBron to play. I don't like it. I'd rather go to Jokic, but he's in play. I do like AD though quite a bit at 10.5. He's been extremely, extremely productive, even coming back after a while, and he's back to playing huge minutes. And I just think he is going to absolutely feast on whoever Oklahoma City puts up on him. Like, think about it. Kenrick Williams might be up on him. Jalen Williams might be up on him. Mike Muscala might be up on Anthony Davis. So I think Anthony Davis looks pretty good, even at this price tag, going up against what this OKC team has to put up on him. So, like AD quite a bit. Westbrook's overpriced. Schroeder's overpriced. Rui's overpriced. So yeah, it's just the main guys for the Lakers at the top for me. So I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.